Hi everyone, meet Bartholomew. We call him Barty for short. He is our garden mascot. The following video is a little older than most of my current videos. Several years ago I was very interested in starting a YouTube channel and I made numerous videos. And then my camera broke. My drive on my computer died. I thought I had lost all of the videos, but recently we have been able to retrieve some of the videos. Now they were made with a different camera, different time. The audio might be a little different. The visual quality might be a little different. But the video itself should be interesting, informative, and I hope you enjoy it. Join me as I figure out what I can do with all my cannas. Hi, I'm Elise. I'm glad that you could stop by. I just got enamored with cannas a few months ago. It was like I woke up in the middle of the night and, wow, I want to grow some cannas. Now, I've been growing cannas for years. And all of these big, beautiful cannas here came from my mother. Really pretty. These are about 4 to 5 foot tall. Very nice, very healthy. Beautiful plants. And I've had them stuck in buckets. And it's really time to put them in the ground. For me, in Zone 9B, cannas do best in the ground. So I want to put these in the ground. I have finally figured out where I want to put them. Cannas are just fantastic plants. I mean, you can grow them up to Zone 7. You can grow them farther than that and just dig the bulbs up or the rhizomes up and overwinter the rhizomes. And speaking of rhizomes, you're going to see lots of misinformation on the internet. Canna does not grow on bulbs. Canna grows on a rhizome. Rhizomes are elongated tubes underneath the ground. They grow horizontal. They put out roots. They put out what they call eyes, or new places where stems will grow from. But I love rhizomes. They're extremely hardy. They normally multiply very fast. And I read one article where the gentleman said that, well, they call them bulbs even though they're rhizomes because that's what the consumer wants to hear. I think the consumer wants the truth. This is a bulb. If you're new to gardening, this is one of a variety of bulbs. And this is a tunic bulb with a couple of babies on the side. Has a root system, a basal plate. It has layers that holds energy and nutrients, a stem that comes up, and then the green leaf that we're familiar with. And we'll talk about that later. But I love these cannas. I mean, they come in all different colors. You can get them in dwarf. You can get them variegated. Beautiful. So let me show you just a few of my cannas here. Now, all of these in this cluster with the orange flowers came from my mother. And I'm not going to put them in clumps because we're so hot and humid here. I think they do better with some separation and airflow. Although cannas love humidity and heat, they can do better with airflow. This is not the same. It's like that little kids thing. One of these is not like the other. Although it's orange, this is the only canna that I have that was bought in a store, and it has been unhappy ever since we bought it. But the reason I'm showing it to you is see all the new growth. So even when they look this cruddy, they'll have new growth. Just cut all the bad places off. And the tag said that this was red. And that's not red, it's orange. So I am going to move that back over, away from my others. And I'll trim that up. This is my latest addition. This is the Cleopatra. It's going to have variegated leaves and variegated blossoms. I can't wait. Another point of interest here. Cannas are not lilies, although they are called canna lily, probably because the foliage somewhat resembles some types of lilies. Actually, they're in the order Zingiberellus, and that's the same order that has heliconia. This is a young heliconia. Banana plant, various gingers, the spiral ginger and the regular ginger, and all three of these are different types of gingers, and there's many, many more. Also, arrowroot is in the same order. Bird of Paradise is in the same order. They all grow in rhizomes. They're all usually pretty hardy and easy to grow, and they all basically like the same growing conditions. Next is the seed controversy. I never would order seeds because everything I kept reading, well, they're slow, they take forever. But anyway, I saw a beautiful red and I ordered the seeds, and I don't have it blooming right now. I was absolutely amazed. The seeds were up in a couple of weeks, and in 4 months, I had big plants blooming. Isn't that great? Now all these are the red Canna. So I went to looking in my seed drawer to see what else I had, to see if I had any more Cannas, because I remembered many years ago I ordered some seeds from a wildlife group, the yellow wild Canna. And sure enough, I still had some seeds. So I soaked them, planted them, and they came up and bloomed. I don't have a yellow one in bloom right now, but the yellow one is a little different. It has a skinnier leaf, and the seed pod looks a little different. So I'm really watching that seed pod. This is another interesting one. Look at this pretty pink blossoms. How pretty. This is also from seed. Now it's going to make a beautiful dark red velvety looking blossom. And my friend Marge gave me these seeds about 4 or 5 years ago. Never planted them. Isn't that gorgeous? And these have a reddish stem. Anyway, I did plant them and they came up. I have 2, 4, 6, and each one has already, the rhizome is sitting out additional plants. So I have a dozen or more of this beautiful plant. And it's called firecracker. These are firecrackers according to Marge. Really pretty. And I love the blush of the red on the edges of the leaves. So don't be afraid of seeds. I did not file them, nick them, or scarify them or scarify them in any way. I did soak the seeds overnight before I planted them. I had a very good germination rate, no matter the ones that were 10 years old, the seeds that were 4 or 5 years old, or the seeds that were newer. And admittedly, the red Canna that I got the seeds for, I did have a higher germination rate because they were fresher. But I was certainly happy with the germination rate of the other. And I am finding little Cannas all over everywhere. I guess the birds and the squirrels and other animals drop the seeds for me. And here is a pumpkin that has a Canna growing in it. Have no idea what color it is. That's okay. That's part of the fun of it. You get all these free plants. So I'm going to make some beds. I'm not going to make a structured bed. I want really natural areas, tuck them in here and there. I will try to keep the colors together because I do like that personally, but you don't have to. You can mix all your colors up. You can grow them in containers. They come in dwarf. You can put them in the ground. Since mine do better in the ground, I'm going to put them in the ground. And just a little bit about Cannas, other than their beauty. They're ornamental. They have medicinal properties, and if you are interested in that, you can go online and just find page after page of information. They're edible. They have the highest starch grain of any plant, which makes it extremely important, not only for humans, but for animals. They can reach over 6 feet tall, according to most articles, but they have not seen my neighbor's because she has one that's about 8 feet tall. And I also read an article that said don't bother doing seeds because seeds won't come up and it takes too long. Well, that's not true. As you can see, I have multiple plants from seeds. Not only did they come up, they set bloom in as little as 4 months. I think that is great. Let me see what else I can share with you. Oh, they're utilitarian. They're used for jewelry, the little hard seeds, making of alcohol, rope, dye, musical instruments. They are a great chop and drop plant. So you could take these leaves, just chop them off, and use them as mulch around other plants. They break down, they feed the other plant. Your rhizome is still good, you'll get more plants. Great for the pollinators, they love it. So if you've got bees or butterflies, I've even seen hummingbirds. And this is a new bulb, a new blossom head starting. Isn't that pretty? Even that is pretty. Now this is a ginger. This is the shell ginger. I don't know how the rhizome for shell ginger got in the pot with all the rhizomes for the cannas. But they're cousins, they get along. But isn't that gorgeous? Now seeds. To harvest your seeds, let them dry completely. After they bloom, this is going to start forming these little green round objects. That's your seed pod. And then that is going to dry. Let them dry completely. And then you can see, and I'm going to take this one off, and try not to drop the seeds. And they make these little bitty hard black seeds. Now someone said you could eat these seeds. I don't know how. I guess if you took a sledgehammer and crushed them, they said the native tribes ate the seeds. They made flour out of them. That would be like, to me, a negative energy consumption, because you would have to break these up completely, squash them up, pulverize them, and that would take more energy than the little bit of flour that you would get from them. But it's doable, and if we ever had to, we could. They put these in musical instruments for rattles. So I can take these, I can throw them in a pot since they're fresh. They'll be up in a couple of weeks, and I'll have more beautiful red cannas. So we've talked about the blooms, we've talked about the seeds, the fact that they are not lilies, the fact that they do not grow on bulbs, the various types. Ooh, one more thing. I mentioned my neighbor has this very large canna. Well, it is an orange color, but it's a little bit different than this one. So she said I could have a rhizome from it. So we went over and we could not get the rhizome up. And when we pulled on it, the leaf just broke off. So I said, okay, fine. I'm not going to tear up her bed to do that. So I came back, I threw the leaf in a bucket of water. Well, undoubtedly, the leaf must have had a little bit of the rhizome on it. In just a couple of days, it was putting out roots. And let me show you what it has done. Now, the original leaf has rotted back, but look at this. This has been completely in water. It has at least three new plants coming out. And look at those roots. And that's the good thing about canna. Canna can live near or in the edge of your water features. Isn't that pretty? I was really surprised. And like I said, to look at it, you couldn't see any rhizome, but undoubtedly it had a little something. And I'm going to try this again with a leaf. And I know when I try it this next time, there will not be any rhizome on it, because I'm going to cut the leaf up a little higher. I'm going to put it in a bucket of water and just see if it will go ahead and develop roots. Isn't that neat? I mean, all these neat things. I love experimenting in the garden. It's so much fun. Get your kids out here and get them interested in it. So, I've got a job ahead of me. It's going to take a few days to do it. I do have a few more types of cannas I would like to incorporate into my landscape, but I love this pink one. Isn't that gorgeous? And I wish the yellow one was in bloom for you to see. It is so pretty. That's it. I'm going to go get busy. As you can see, I have got a lot to do. And this is not going to be a one-day project. It's going to be a several-day project, especially right now. We're in August. It is hot. Yesterday, our heat index was 106. Cannas may love it, but it's really hard on me. I hope you can plant some cannas in your area. Even if you aren't as warm as we are, you can plant them in the summer, over winter, the rhizomes in the winter time. You can grow them in pots on your patios, in your hothouses. They're just gorgeous. And again, a multitude of colors and variations of leaf colors, blossom colors, sizes. Great plant. Ornamental, medicinal, edible, utilitarian. What else could you ask for? I hope you can get out and plant something today. Have a great day.